guys, this is the elementary video for February 18th and 19th. We're still in the lessons of David. We started with David's friendship with Jonathan, and then last week we talked about how David was exiled and kind of went his own way and had some suffering problems because of that. And this week we kind of come into this stage where God is redeeming David, and we're going to be talking about God's perfect timing. So this story we're telling today is about the way that David becomes king of Israel, or of the Israelites. So you're going to be in 2 Samuel, the first 5-6 chapters of 2 Samuel, various verses in there. So just spend some time to prepare your heart and over this lesson. The first thing you're going to do is kind of an object lesson. You'll have 2 sheets of paper. The first sheet, you'll just stand up like this, and you'll have an object, and we'll just use this paper here. And you'll say, do you think this paper can hold this object? Right? No, it crashes, okay? However, if you make a slight adjustment, you will roll it up and you will tape it. You now have a sturdy column, right? And this sturdy column will bear the weight of this book. Well, bear the weight of this book, okay? So, and you can put various things on top of it. You have cardstock, so it's a little bit stronger than this piece of paper. And then you can just talk to them about how this object lesson reminds you of today's lesson, that when we trust on ourselves, when we do things our own way, we fail. But when we have patience and we wait for God's perfect timing, we will have victory. And that's what today's lesson is about. So again, today's lesson is about David ascending to the throne. You start with the news that King Saul and Jonathan had been killed in a battle. And the idea then that then it's David's rightful throne, right? He should just be able to take that throne. But that's not what happens. And David is patient, and he waits. He waits for God's time. And because he was patient and he was faithful to God, God heaped many blessings upon him. And in God's perfect timing, David took the throne. And so what we want our kids to walk away from this lesson is that God will do the same for them. David isn't the only person that God exalts. God will exalt them if they are patient and they wait for God's timing. If they follow his will and they wait for God's timing and they practice patience, God will exalt them too. God will bless them as he blessed David. So that's, I think, a big part of what we have to teach the kids is that patience, that idea of patience, is so hard. It's so hard for us adults, and I think it's also really, really hard for our elementary school students, especially because they're living in this generation of convenience and everything is available to them at their fingertips, right? So I'm hoping they can walk away and praying that they can walk away with a better understanding of what it means to wait for God's timing and why it's better for us to not do things our own way, but to wait for the way God wants us to do it. So you have your psalm for blessing, and you have your prayer time and all the great stuff you normally have. And then you have a craft. This craft is just kind of fun. It is a reveal craft. So everybody will have a sheet of paper. Every child will have a sheet of paper, and you'll have white crayons, and then you'll have watercolors. So essentially you just have the kids draw something or write a phrase like maybe God's timing is perfect, or be patient like David, or whatever, and any kind of symbol, whatever they want to write. And then you will have them watercolor over the message. Now, I did not press very hard, so you can see it's very light. But if you press a little harder, have the kids press harder, then your secret message will come out a little bit stronger. So that's what you have. That is your week. I hope you guys are doing really, really great. We're going to end the lessons of David next week with Mephibosheth, Jonathan's grandson. And so I'm really excited to kind of wrap up the story of David and how God worked in his life. So if you have any questions, just let the campus directors know. Otherwise, thank you again for all that you do, and we'll see you next week.